What is up, diecast collectors? This is 9446 Network back with another diecast review. And today we're going to be looking at the Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain. And his #1 Trackhouse Racing Advent Health Chevrolet Camaro ZL1 1LE for Trackhouse. A fantastic car with a driver that has made a name for himself for sure. Doesn't have to question himself on that one. Ross Chastain. And I really like this car. You know, for people that were not able to get the Watermelon Man cars, the black one, or the one that ran the 2020 Daytona 500, I remember that car being. It was like a turquoise color with like the green and the red and all that. That's a rare diecast. Time will tell how rare this diecast will be. Not really sure. It is a primary paint scheme for Ross Chastain, and because he's one of the popular guys, I would assume, because a lot of people wanted a Ross Chastain Trackhouse diecast released soon. And then we got it. The Daniel Suarez stuff should be coming in soon. I don't know what shipment they're in. Like I said, there's a lot of diecasts floating around in the haulers, the merchandise haulers, that will soon be expected to be in a shipment haul. And this car right here came at us as a surprise. Like, we knew we were going to get it at some point, but wow, we got it a lot earlier than I thought, judging by how these cars have been releasing. Wish it came out in February, like all the other cars should have been, but that's not how the releases are. #1, Trackhouse, the Pitbull Justin Mark team. Of course, you have Advent Health, and the hood vents. You can't really tell if I get close enough. Yes, the decals, the hood vents are over the decals, and the decals kind of take the shape of the hood vents, if you can kind of see what I'm saying there. So that's good. It's not just plastered over it. You got the little Advent Health symbol right there. A very nice, sharp-looking front design. This looks like a face mask, like the Hendrick cars used to have. Got Sunoco, Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series, Ross Chastain, #1 Chevy, Moose, and of course, Trackhouse Entertainment. You got Advent Health right there, Worldwide Express, a fantastic paint scheme for that one, and of course, Jockey. And that's a good paint scheme as well. It's patriotic, both the same for Suarez and Chastain. You got Trackhouse right there. Taillights look pretty good. They actually lined them up really, really good on this one. So check mark on that one. You got Chevy right there. Got Camaro, really big. Advent Health right there, #1 ZL1. And of course, the Trackhouse logo. Advent Health right there. Chastain. Advent Health on the roof. And for the paint scheme, it's a white spray painted car. And of course, let's get the paint scheme on. So this front nose looks a lot like the iFly car from last year on Daniel Suarez. I kind of remember like this kind of, like where it's green, that little stripe that kind of swooshes up across the front here. That shape kind of looks similar to what I saw on the iFly car, but it could be different for this paint scheme as well. Green #1, of course, and of course the blue wrapping around the front. It doesn't go all the way down to the front corners. It just kind of wraps around the headlights, up and over the headlights right there, the H and the H right there, and then swooshes down. You got some space between the green and the white there, as you can see, the way that stripe is. And this is where the craziness begins. The detail of it. So, of course, you have some gradients on it as well. That's really cool. If you get a closer look, you'll notice all those gradients, details on them. Of course, you got the yellow right there, that yellow. And, of course, that darker shade of blue. It is fairly gradient, as you can tell. There's shadows to the blue. It's got, like, the light blue and, of course, the lighter blue. It's turquoise, and then it goes back to darker, and it turns into the super turquoise towards the back. Like, look at the color fade of that. So you see the back is more towards that turquoise, and then you move to the front, and it just gradually changes. And, of course, behind patterns and stuff as well, you're going to notice it. Of course, you have the green, the yellow, and then the stripes engraved in there, the blue shades engraved into the paint. Of course, the black and white #1 on the side with the shadow and the black outline, the white outline, and the white number filling with the slash. Top has it, the nicest looking #1 on this car, the green #1, which is here, here, and here. And they just did the black and white #1 on the side, but that's okay. It still looks good. #1. Finally, a NASCAR looking one, and not the funky IndyCar one that was on the Kurt Busch car, which I liked. It wasn't bad, but it's nice to have a good looking #1. Ross Chastain with the little emoji of Ross Chastain right there. That's the name right there as well, as you guys can tell, Ross Chastain. And of course, the #1 has the same type of number on the side, except the number fill-in of the main number is green instead of black or white. I should say. That shadow with the green and the white, man, that shadow number, man, looks fantastic. Back to the side of the car, swishes up around the Advent Health logo. The white triangle just swooshes there, and the yellow swooshes back at it towards the American Ethanol logo. And how can I forget the most beautiful part of the paint scheme? The watermelon on the side, over the black side skirts. Look at that. Look at how the watermelon, you can kind of see it. They didn't make it too huge, but it's a part detail of the car that fits Ross Chastain, because he's the watermelon man. You got to have a watermelon somewhere on the car. And of course, got the outlines to that shape as well. Just really extravagant. Jagged edges with outlines of that light blue and the gradients all around. Just a fantastic. And even that, it's really depthy. It has a lot of depth to it. You look at it, the watermelon on the car, very depthy. You can see it's a very detailed watermelon. The seeds in there, the red and the green of the fruit. It just looks fantastic. So there it is. That's the beautiful looking side of the car. The back. Whoa, this looks cool. So you can kind of see where it was, where the paint scheme stopped, right at the corners of the taillights, the back parts of the taillights. And of course the black, Jesus Lord, the blue gradient. And look at that, there's even gradient. I know there's decal lines on it. That's just what happens when you put these decals on piece by piece. You get little lines of decals. But essentially, those are where the gradients begins to go back to the normal blue, with a bit of green just swooshes up. Man, these guys knew what they were doing when they were doing this paint scheme. And of course, the shape goes around the Camaro logo, just fully around the word Camaro, and triangular edges back down again with the gradients. And look at how that looks. Just looks fantastic. Just amazing looking car. That bumper design is really, really sharp. Gotta say, like the look of it. And of course, the deck lid kind of fades into the turquoise color. And that, my friends, is going to be the Ross Chastain Trackhouse car. And of course, black spoiler, black splitter, black wheels. What color rims would look? Oh, this one's a roller. Oh, wow, this is a roller. This is going to roll fast in the Flashracer Cup Series, diecast series that we got going on the channel, which will be coming back soon. It's going to be around 2023 with the 2022 cars. But this is a good car. I love the gradients on it all around. Just looks good. The roof rails, black. Kind of looks cool. And this car is just fantastic looking. What else can I say about it? It looks great. This Ross Chastain car. Unbelievable, man. These gradients around the car. This looks like one of those types of paint schemes you see from like the early 2000s. You just imagine like those mid-tier teams, but they have awesome, beautiful paint schemes. I'm getting those type of vibes looking at this car. Like looking at cars like the Square D car, like the mid-tier around there. Like they're not running towards the front all the time, but they have like these beautiful paint schemes. But in Ross Chastain's case, he is competitive. He's making this car competitive. This is going to be a car years from now. I was like, wow, that paint scheme ran. It just looks great, man. It's one of my favorite. I don't know, man. All the paint schemes were nice this year. Really good ones. And the number placement on this one does not affect it one bit. Yeah, it doesn't affect it one bit. Because look at the placement of that number 1. Usually the other cars, the number's a little bit slid more to the NASCAR Cup Series, but this is just a little bit slid back. Now, if your number is 99, you're going to take both of those slots. But this number is on the other slot closer to the sponsor. So you can see it's usually around here, and just pushed it a little bit back. Looks kind of like the older car. Kind of looks like the Gen 6, except the number, you could definitely tell is slightly moved a bit forward. But you have a lot of this space right here left, which is really cool to see that they didn't fully move the number all the way. The moved numbers don't look terrible. They are livable. Some paint schemes it's good and some it's bad. I haven't really seen a bad, awful one yet. But this here is an unreal, beautiful looking car, Ross Chastain. So I'm going to give you guys a 360 review of it. And who knows, next week, maybe Denny Hamlin's car is going to get reviewed. Because there is a lot of them that came in. So I'll be able to review a lot of cars when I got the time to. Really nice looking car. Beautiful. So thank you guys for checking this diecast review out. Comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next diecast review. Hopefully Philip Torres puts out a video of his own here sometime soon in the future. And always remember to make sure you know what you're doing when you're putting decals on your diecast, and hopefully Suarez will be the next gen car to review. See you guys next time.